The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Just kind of peters out there into space. There we go. Can we just say, dear listener, this is the Late Night Alternative. For the first time since doing this show, I have a television screen on in my room, right, showing me what is happening on the news. So rest assured, dear listener, if there are any further developments in what is happening in with our brothers and our sisters in Spain, then we will let you know what's going on. But just a quick message to those murdering bastards, whether you be Islamic terrorists, whether you be Nazis, whether you be Jew haters, whether you be far-right murderers, whether you be Christian terrorists, and they do exist, guys. Whoever you are, you can stick it right up your arses, right? We're not having any of it. Oh, big man, getting a renter van and driving it into some kids. Tough guys, running down children in a truck. Your parents and your fictional God must be so pleased of you if that's the reason you're doing it. When we all know that you are micro-penised, sad cases, who find it very difficult to, not only get girlfriends, but to live and function properly in a world. Just imagine for for a second the size of the cojones it must take to get a big van and drive it at children. Just imagine, you are scumbags, whether you are doing it for a god, whether that god is brown or is white, or you're doing it for a political ideal. You are all scumbags, you are all arseholes, and you will not darken our doors. You will not darken this show. Tonight we're going to carry on having a laugh. I think we can have a laugh. If you want news, if you want to follow the ins and outs, if you want a load of experts, in inverted commas, making up stuff and guessing, then I'm going to suggest you tune to LBC, because they'll be doing it. Or you can tune to 5 Live, because they'll be doing it. Or your local BBC radio station, BBC London, BBC Manchester, whatever it is, they'll be doing that. They will have experts on for the next 3 hours, just guessing. Now, bear in mind, these experts don't know any more than we do. They had a clip of an expert in the news here at Talk Radio. Do you know what he said? What the expertise was that came from his lips? That vehicles are now considered to be a deadly weapon. We know that! We know that! We don't need to go through our Rolodex, sorry, that's old-fashioned, our filofaxes to look under terrorism experts to know that cars and trucks are now considered deadly weapons. We know that! We know that. And that is all you're going to get on those other radio stations for the next 3 hours. Is people, is experts who get a tiny bit excited when something like this happens, because it means they can go on the radio and just guess. And just guess. The world is dark, the world is horrific, there are some horrible, horrible people in it, but I've got 2 little boys who I love madly. And so tonight, even though they won't be listening to this, let's create some magic. Let's shine a little bit of light, shall we, in this otherwise darkened world, and let's just dick around until 1 o'clock. Okay? You fancy that? Good. That's what we're doing. If there's anything that happens over there, we will, of course, let you know. But until then, normal rules apply. This is the Late Night Alternative. My name is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome. You can call in about anything, as per usual, but we've got another 51 minutes for people to call in and book their slots on tomorrow's show. If you're not on this list that I am holding in my hands, you will not be allowed on tomorrow night's show. So you've got until 11 to phone in and book your slot. And also, book the topic that you want to talk about. How's about that? 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. It'll cost you pennies. It's probably free. We even call you back. You'll speak to Cash. She'll take your name and number, and she will give you a call back. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Do you know what? Excuse me, I'm going to turn the TV off, because I don't need to see all of this. Let's just turn that off. It's gone. Right. They can, Cass can keep an eye on the news. If anything happens, then we'll do it. I don't need their religious-based hatred to invade my studio and invade my show any more than it has. So, tomorrow's show, so far, reads like this. And it's very rare, dear listener, it's very rare that we have... can you get the phones, please, when they start ringing? Yes, please, that's it. It's very rarely that we have such a well-laid-out show for tomorrow. Here's what we've got so far. At 5 minutes past 10 on Friday evening, Alan Caddick is talking about prison food. At 6 minutes past 10, it's Lee. He's talking about the Havering Gazette. All this stuff meant something yesterday when they phoned in. John, get stuffed. John's texted him, wow, that will make them think twice about bombing us. John, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it to stop ISIS. I've not solved the Taliban or ISIS. I've not solved it. I'm just expressing myself, John. Express yourself, man. Grow a pair and express yourself. It's freeing. At 10:30 tomorrow, Dave has got a load of topics that I can't be bothered to go through now. At 10:46 tomorrow, Dom will be talking about shoe sizes. At 11:04, Cleo is talking about birds. Now, I mean, if someone wanted to phone in and book 11:05, they'd be very, very welcome to. Very welcome. 11:15, Stephen is calling in about kill it, feed it, or ignore it. 11:20, it's Katia. 11:20, it's Katie. What do you do when you move to a new neighbourhood? 11:30, in 30 seconds, it's Mike with a movie script. At 11:40, it's Kyle talking about the DWP. Then we get to the last hour of tomorrow night's show, dear listener, and it really sounds like this. At 12:05, it's David Nonce Babcock. At 12:15, it's Leicester, Revenge at a Party. At 12:30, it's Bill, Catch Him Wherever. At 12:40, it's John, who's got loads of topics about his wife. And at 12:50, it's Rocky, where he's going to construct a parallel universe where the Beatles were not turned down by Joe Meek. That's how it works. You've got until 11 o'clock to book your slot. We also need some substitutes. Substitute me for him, in case people don't turn up at their allotted time. And if that doesn't happen, then we will be calling on our substitutes to come and take part indeed. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Other stuff as well. Okay, it's not just that. You know the rules by now. You can call in about literally anything you want. I have spent most of this evening trying to track down stuff that I got rid of to make space. I threw out so many CDs, so many DVDs, so many box sets, so many albums, vinyl records, to make space. And I've spent most of the last 10 years trying to re-buy them. Trying to find them and re-buy them. And I had that beautiful 21-disc box set of Laurel and Hardy movies. When it came out, it was £100. I got it as a Christmas present from my mum about 12 years ago. And it's quite big and bulky. So I got rid of it to make space. And the last 3 weeks, I've been hovering on Amazon thinking, well, maybe I should buy it again because I'd really like it. And 2 weeks ago, it was £20. Now it's gone up to £35. I found it for £22 on Sex, the computer exchange, and I have bought it. Will I ever watch it? Probably not, but I like it. So stuff that you have got rid of and that you have spent a long time trying to recapture. 0344 499 1000. You can, of course, call in about absolutely anything. I see we've got Robert and I see we've got Ken. Wowzers. And we could have you as well, dear listener. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Good evening, Ken.
Good evening, Iain, and thanks very much for taking my call.
I always do, Kenneth.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. And if it's possible, I would like to book a call for Friday night at 10:30, if that's okay.
At what time on Friday was that, Ken?
10:30.
10:30 is gone. I can give you 10:40.
That'll be wonderful, Iain.
Now, just to reiterate, you need to phone us before then. We'll call you back as per usual, but you need to phone us up before then, and if you're late for your slot, then I'm afraid you will not be allowed in.
That's okay, and if you'd allow me just a quick minute here just about this, and listen, I appreciate how you condemn that atrocious religious slaughter today in Spain. We need to speak up more boldly against this evil and not be politically correct.
No, Ken, you're doing the same thing that Paul was doing yesterday. No one is being politically correct and tiptoeing. Now, we don't know who these people were that did it, but let's assume for a second all the signs seem to point to extreme Islam terrorism, right? Nobody is tiptoeing around that, Ken. In your fantasy world, people are afraid to say, oh, it's Muslim terrorism. Oh, God, we can't say that because that... No one is tiptoeing around the fact that there is an extreme branch of Islam that is sending out some nut jobs to kill people. Nobody is tiptoeing around it. So don't you dare for 1 second suggest that people are.
Some people are.
No, they are not, Ken. Who is tiptoeing around the fact that there is a situation with extreme Islam terrorism? Name one person.
Well, there's a mindset, for example...
Name one person who's tiptoeing around it, because you will not be able to, Ken, because you come on and you preach hatred and you preach nastiness and you preach meanness and you hide behind the fact that you call yourself a Christian when you display anything that is not, that is the complete opposite of Christianity. You preach hatred, you preach racism, you preach bile.
Nonsense, absolute nonsense. Tell me what bile I've ever preached to you.
Tell me one person who tiptoes around the problem of Islamic terrorism.
The government, for example...
Utter bollocks, Ken. You're talking bollocks.
I'm entitled to my own opinion.
No, your opinion is wrong. You're not entitled to an opinion when it's wrong, when it's hateful, and when it's divisive. The government are not tiptoeing around it, you absolute pudding.
Tiptoeing around the problem.
Don't start rolling your R's trying to sound cute. This is a serious thing where kiddies have died. So don't start rolling your R's trying to show off. You are talking utter bollocks, Ken, and you know it.
Let me explain to you why I can say they're tiptoeing around. You know why? Because the government know in the Quran...
Ken, stop it! Ken, stop it! No, Ken, stop it! You are a hate preacher. You are a nasty, bitter man, and you spread poison, right? There is a tiny percentage of absolute idiots who go around killing people in the name of Islam. The majority of Muslims do not buy into that, Ken, and I will not allow you to come on here and spout absolute poison just to cash in on the fact that an atrocity has happened in Spain. I will not let you do it, Ken. Goodbye. I'm not having it. I'm not having it at all. Not tonight, buddy. Not tonight when there are dead kids, right? You're not coming on and spouting your absolute Islamophobic, homophobic, anti-Semitic nonsense, Ken, that you do all the time. You ain't getting a free pass with me, buddy. It's poison what you speak. Absolute poison. Let's go to Lee. Good evening, Lee.
Good evening, boss. Hi.
What you got for us, boss?
I would like to book a slot for tomorrow.
Yes,
but
sir.
Not sure what times were free. So
5 minutes past 11 is free.
I will take that then.
And what would you like to talk about?
I would like to talk about acronyms and how they're killing the planet.
Acronyms. Okay, lovely. You're on the list, Lee.
Awesome. I'll be there.
Speak to you then. Ta-ta. Just to reiterate, everybody that's on this list for tomorrow night's show, you have to call in just before or a few minutes. You can be early, but you've got to call in before your slot. We will call you back, but so let's go to Robert. Good evening, Robert.
Hello, mate. First time I've spoken to you. That was quite fierce, that conversation you just had. Hello?
Hello, yeah, I'm waiting for this conversation to start.
Okay, all right, okay, so here's the thing. I think as much as the terrorists are a problem to us, I actually think the government and our governments in the Western world are a bigger problem.
Why is that, Robert?
Well, under their watches, and I'm not talking about left or right, all of them, they've allowed this problem to fester. I actually think they've contributed towards it.
Robert, I'm going to get. Can I give you a phone number?
What's that?
Can I give you a phone number? 0345 6060 973. Give them a call because they would love. That's LBC. They would love to hear your narrow-minded bollocks. Is that all right, mate?
Well, why don't you?
Thanks very much for calling, Robert. I mean, really. Don't come on here. Listen, right? Listen. There is a problem with extreme Islam and Islamic terrorism. Who is denying that? Who is denying that? Right? But also, who would get a boner about doing a phone-in about it when there are dead people just over in Europe? Why? No. It's not happening here, man. It's not happening. And I'm sorry, right? This country, as listeners and contributors to phone-in radio over the past few years, we've had it to we've been dumbed down, right? We've been dumbed down to where you can phone up radio shows, spout poison, spout bile, spout absolute lies, and the host will go, "Yeah, that's great. Thanks very much. I really appreciate your call." That doesn't happen on this show, I'm afraid. It does not happen on this show. You will not get away with spouting the usual. He must have thought I was Collins. He's got the wrong Iain. You will not get away with spouting the usual lazy bullshit. And also, I don't want to do 3-hour phoning on it. There are families where they've got an empty bed in their house tonight. Really? Really? You want to phone up and start having a pop at the governments and stuff like that? What is that going to do? What? First of all, the government ain't listening to this show. Secondly, what? Why? Why do you feel the need to do that? If you want to do it, 0345 6060 973. They will be over the moon to take your phone call. They're desperate for calls from narrow-minded idiots. So go and phone those guys up. Let's try again. Julie.
Hello, Iain.
Hello, Julie.
I thought I would phone up and volunteer my services to be a stand-in tomorrow, if you would like, for anybody who doesn't meet their slot.
OK, lovely. So, now, here's the thing. You need to be listening for the whole show tomorrow.
That's fine. I'm in hospital at the moment, and I'd had to take myself into A&E this morning.
Oh, why? What happened?
I just had really severe abdominal pains.
Oh!
And I might have a perforated bowel, and I might need to do something. So I'm going to be in here for tomorrow.
You could be pregnant.
No, I'm definitely not.
Well, no, here's the thing. I am very, very virile, right?
Are you?
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
I'll be pregnant now from just speaking to you.
From listening to the show, yes. Because if you listen on DAB, it's such the signal is such good quality, even though it's only 68 hertz a minute or something. It's such good quality that if I spit into the microphone, then seed could travel through the air.
Oh my God!
Yep. That can happen.
Okay, yeah. So I'm around tomorrow to stand in should you need, because I won't be doing anything. I will just be here in bed.
Are you allowed to? So you're in hospital now, in bed in hospital. You're allowed to make phone calls, and that won't disturb people.
Yes.
Because the hospitals are screwed now, because now everyone's got a mobile phone, right? And now we know that scam about, you can't use mobile phones in hospitals.
That's rubbish.
It affects the life support machines. No, it doesn't. There was a fella the other day, I was at a petrol station, and I went to fill up my car, but I was listening to a message on my phone, and he wouldn't turn the pump on. And I looked and went,
that's right.
You turn this on. He went, no, not. I won't do the accent. He said, put your phone down. And
that's right.
I said, well, and I went in and I said, why wouldn't you do that? He said, because you can start a fire. Well, that's rubbish.
Absolute rubbish as well.
That's rubbish.
Absolute rubbish.
You can't start a fire with a mobile phone.
No. You absolutely can't. But again, that's like the like you say, like with the hospital equipment thing. But some people just won't think. So I will be around. But should you need a stand-in, should somebody not make their slot, then I can talk about anything.
Okay, all right. That sounds good, Julie. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Iain.
Tutty bye. Let's go to Marty. Good evening, Marty.
Hey, Iain, how are you, dude?
Well, they've called you, on the screen, they've called you Mardy, which is a northern word meaning miserable.
Well, I am miserable.
Oh, in that case, then maybe they got that right. Maybe they're just describing the mood of the callers instead of putting your names on, and that's fine. Good evening, Mardy.
How are you doing, dude?
I'm all right, thank you, man. I'm all right. The world's a little bit darker tonight, so indulge us for another. It's only another 2.5 hours as we try and shine a little spotlight, a little bit of light into the world.
A little bit of life. So first of all, I was going to call to book a slot for tomorrow.
Oh, baby, yes. What time do you want?
Well, I was thinking 12:05 and 1 second, but I thought that might be really hard.
Well, that's
really
David Nonce Babcock then. That's mean, but if that's what you want to go for, then that's what you want to go for. These things happen.
But Well, I had to change of heart in the end, so I've decided what I'll do is I'll be a substitute for the last hour.
Okay, so, whoa, hang on a minute, buddy. Sorry, I'm sorry. I think he just said a substitute for the last hour. It doesn't work like that. I'll explain it to him. No, Marty, no. There's no picking hours to be a substitute for. You're either on the subs bench. It's not like you right, football game, right? You don't see Paul Gascoigne on the substitute bench, but he says, well, I can only go on the substitute bench for the last 20 minutes, because I'm having a tab. It doesn't happen. When Gascoigne is on the substitute bench, he is on the substitute bench for the whole 90 minutes, Marty.
Yeah, I know, but it's a bit tough for me because I'm at work, when your show is on.
Well, I hate to do this, Marty.
I
can't let you be. I can't put you on the. No, this. Oh, don't cry, for God's sakes. I cannot accept your request to be a substitute caller for tomorrow night's show.
Okay, fair enough.
I would thank you for the call, Marty, but if I'm honest, it's been very disappointing, and I think we've learnt a lot about you.
Has it been miserable?
Yes, it has.
Okay, good.
There we go. You see, you can't say I want to be a substitute, but only for an hour of the show. That's absolutely insane. It's not how it works. Imagine if I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to come in and do the show, but only the last hour. By the way, if you missed it, this is the big news. Got big news, right? We had Danny Kelly in on Tuesday. It's a great show. He was in for the whole 3 hours. I must have said about 30 words. It was wonderful. You can listen to the whole thing on the website. Talkradio.co.uk. But he planted a seed which grew into me going on Twitter with an idea, which people seem to give the thumbs up to, which then encouraged me to send an email to my boss, who wrote back going, all right, let's try it. So not this week, not next week, but the week after, right? If we're doing the show, and the show is kind of rocking, and it's getting up to 1:45, and the show's supposed to end at 1:45, we're not going to end at 1 o'clock. We're going to carry on doing the show. Now, we might carry on for another half an hour, another hour. Who knows? We might even carry on until Paul Ross starts, right? We're not going to do it every night. We may not even do it that first week, because there may not be a show that's kind of good enough, where we feel that the vibe is strong enough to carry us on. We're only going to do it when we feel the show hasn't ended at 1 o'clock. So we are going to have, at some point, hashtag radio lock-in. Now, I don't quite know how it'll work with adverts and stuff. That's fine. Boss has said, let's do it a couple of times, and then we'll chat about it in the morning and see, if where we go. A lot of people said, well, what about the show after you? Easily solved, you see. We simulcast with Talk Sport at 1 o'clock. Talk Radio, it still goes, but we kind of we get the Talk Sport boys. So if you want to hear what you'd normally hear at 1 o'clock, you just tune over to Talk Sport. Simple as, right? But if you want to hear us chatting and carry on doing this nonsense, and it could be heavy, it could be light, it could be frothy, it could be, it could be anything, you know how the show works, then you get to stay and listen to us for a little bit longer. How does that sound? Exciting? Anyway, onwards and upwards. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You can give me a call about anything, unless you want to spread hatred, because there's too much of that in the world tonight. I'm Iain Lee. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000, as if students are going to be listening to this, to a 44-year-old, slightly overweight has-been. But if you are, and A-levels and all of that stuff, I only want to speak to students tonight if you are drunk, either celebrating or commiserating your A-levels. Yeah, yes, A-levels, a lifetime ago, really. Good evening, Andre. Speaking of drunks.
Hi, Ian. Yeah, I've just got my results.
Oh, yeah. Are you positive or negative?
Positive. I went to the University of Life and I've done very well, thank you.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. What are you driving these days?
Oh, me? What am I driving? Oh, well, I've got a couple of vehicles, actually.
Oh.
I can't really disclose what they are.
Because one of them is a Tesco shopping trolley, yes?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. That's,
Yes.
that's, that's my best one.
Yes.
And the other one begins with B and ends with W.
It begins with V and ends with W?
No, B. It's not a Volkswagen.
Oh, begins with B?
Yeah, ends with W. And it's a bit nippy.
What is it?
Put an M in the middle of it.
BMW.
BMW. Well, Ian,
Yes.
what I was going to say, you know that bloke who was on just a minute ago?
Which one?
Who was a substitute for another guy. Did he look very tall, but his shoes were high?
Yeah. Can I just say, I was thinking about the lyrics to Substitute the other day.
Yeah, well, I think all the simple things he said were complicated.
Yeah.
He looked very young, but he was just backdated, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was that the one we were just thinking of?
My favourite line from that song is, it's such a good song, Substitute by the Who.
It
It's
is,
poetry.
excellent,
I look
yeah.
all white, but my dad was black. What a
my
great...
My mohair suit was made out of fat.
Oh, it's a great song!
Oh, classic.
It's one of the best. It's one of the best. It's poetry. That song, absolute poetry.
Another one here, Boris the Spider.
That's a terrible song.
Yeah. No. Oh, what was that one?
Look who's climbing up my wall. Black and hairy, very small. Maybe he's as afraid of me. Da 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 da. I can't see. It's an awful song.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Well, look, what about the other one about that bloke who lived on the beach or in the sand dunes or something? What was that one?
Happy Jack.
Yeah, Happy Jack. Yeah, that was a good one. I used to like that one.
Yeah.
Oh, still do, but don't hear it very often.
No, you don't hear it very often, do you?
No.
Why didn't you sing it for us?
I can't remember it off the top of my head.
No.
Substitute I can, but not that one.
Well, let's hear Substitute then.
Oh, Ian, I can't start singing.
Come on,
all the time,
Andre,
can
start
I?
singing Substitute.
Substitute for another guy. Look pretty tall, but my shoes are high. Simple things I say are all complicated. Look pretty young, but I'm just blackdated. Yeah. That'd do for tonight.
That'll do
Ian,
for tonight, Andre. Well done.
Thank you very much, Ian. Talk to you later, yeah?
Tutty bye, tutty bye.
See you later, bye.
0344 499 1000. And it really is as simple as that. That's the show. If you've never listened before, welcome. It's the late night alternative. I'm guessing you're here because everywhere else is doing, the horrific stuff that's going on in Spain, and we're keeping an eye on that. The production team are watching that story, and if there are any developments, of course, we're going to let you know. But I do like to present this. It's called the late night alternative for a reason. We present an alternative to everything else that's going on your radio dials right now. So we'll try and have a laugh, is it? You've got 25 minutes, guys. 25 minutes until we close the door on bookings for tomorrow night's show. And it's looking busy, but there are still some slots. Because 6 minutes past 10, we've got Lee talking about the Havering Gazette, and then we don't have anything until 10:30. So that's ostensibly 26 minutes hearing about the Havering Gazette. Really? It might be a great story. It might be dull as. So there's slots in there. 10:46... up until 11 o'clock, it's just Dom talking about shoe sizes. Controversial topic. I really think that one's going to get. People angry. 11's quite busy. Although 11:40 up until midnight, it's Kyle talking about the Department of Work and Pensions. I do. Fair play to Kyle. He's persisted with this topic. He really has persisted with this topic. So it would be horrible if it would be really mean if someone phoned up and booked 11:42, for example. So Kyle only had 2 minutes to talk about this part. That would be a mean thing to do. So, 0344 499 1000. The last hour is quite nicely spread. David Babcock is on at 12:05. 12:15, Leicester talking about revenge at a party. But here's the thing, Bill at 12:30. It just says here, catch him wherever. I do wonder if Bill is actually going to be... of all of the callers we have lined up, Bill is, I think, and I'm not doing him a disservice, Bill is, I think, the strongest chance we have of a no-show. I've just got a feeling that he might be a no-show. And then there's just 10 minutes each for each one after that. So there are spaces, 22 minutes left, because at 11 o'clock we are closing the door. If you call in after 11 and say, I really want to get on tomorrow's show, you won't. And if you phone up tomorrow and you're not on the list, you won't get on. I'll tell you what I'll do tomorrow, because my family are away, right? What I'll do is I'll type up this list of calls and I will post it on my Facebook page, okay? If you go to facebook.com/Iain Lee, IAINLEE, I'll post this up, all right? Because, I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do, but you know I'm a fan of the prank call, right? You know I'm a big fan of it. It wouldn't be, you know, and Catherine isn't here. I think we've got Emma tomorrow, okay? So Catherine would be bang on it. She'd be on the ball, right? Emma doesn't know what Dom sounds like, or what Cleo sounds like, or what Katia sounds like. So you could phone up and pretend to be that person. I'm not saying you should. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying that if you did it, tomorrow night will be your strongest chance. It'll be fun tomorrow. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You can call in about absolutely anything you want. But remember, this is the Late Night Alternative. My name is Iain Lee. You're listening to Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
Here we go. Look at this. I turned away for a second and suddenly we got shed loads of phone calls. Hang on a minute. Andre, you've been on, you muppet. Jesus Christ, I mean, goodness sakes. Wait for the delay. God, I don't know, I'll shout a bit, don't I? Let's try and do the rest of this bit quieter, a bit softer.
Hang on a minute. Andre, you've been on, you muppet. I can't hear. Iain, I've got something very important to say.
I'll be the judge of that. Go on.
Can I book a slot on something very serious?
What time would you like on tomorrow night's show?
10:30.
10:30.
11.
Sorry?
10:30, 11, something like that.
How about we do 10:50?
10:55.
Well, we go. Well, Can we?
10:50.
10:50. And just give us a heads up. What would you like to talk about, Andre?
Well, sex and drugs and rock and roll.
Sex and drugs.
In my own words.
Okay. Well, that's brilliant, Andre. Really looking forward to it, mate.
Right, 10:50 tomorrow night, yeah?
Yep. Thank you very much indeed. Good evening, Gareth.
Hello, Iain. How are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. What you got for us?
No, I'm trying to... Are you the same Iain Lee that used to be on Channel 4 back in the day?
Back in the day, many lifetimes ago, Gareth. Yes, I am. I used to do a programme years ago called The 11 O'Clock Show. Yes, with Daisy Donovan. Yes.
Oh, God, Jesus. Wow. I had so much respect for you back then. Oh, what are you doing yourself on this kind of radio station this time of night?
Here we go. I'm working six days a week feeding my kids and paying the mortgage off, Gareth. What are you doing with your life?
You put on a bit of my weight now, because you used to be like, all right.
Yep. Now I don't do drugs and I eat food.
No, but that was quality back in the day. We all used to think we used to like wait up and watch that show.
Wowzers! I bet you could speak properly back then. But anyway, that was and they're all up on YouTube now, and you can all go and see them on YouTube if you want. Some bits are funny, some bits aren't very funny, some bits, yes. Anyway.
So what's the point? We're talking about what's going on in Spain, and was that the Catalan, or was it a genuine terrorist attack, or what was it now? We're just living a day of terror? Because I heard, the saying on...
Can I interrupt for a second, Gareth?
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about, man?
No, this terror attack.
Yeah, but have you been listening to the show?
Yeah, well, no, I haven't.
Right, well, then you'll know that
you don't want to talk about that?
No, we don't have to talk about that.
Okay.
Why would we have to talk about it? Everyone else is talking about it.
Yeah, but Talk Radio's been on about that all day long.
Yeah, so we decided tonight that we would stop going on. If they've not been on about it all day long, so it's not been happening all day. But tonight we are keeping an eye on it, but we're talking about other stuff.
Yeah, it just makes you worry, though, don't it?
No, doesn't make me worry. No.
Where do you live? Do you live in London? No, I'm not going to try and stalk you or anything. But
So why does it matter where I live?
No, but it's saying I've got friends in London, and they always have this like ongoing like threat that something's going to happen.
I bet they don't. I bet they don't always have an ongoing threat.
I don't know. It's scary times.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Really?
No, it's not.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Tell me why is it not scary times then?
No, you tell me. I don't have to. Listen, man, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s when there were IRA.
So did I. Yeah, so did
there
I.
were IRA bombs going off. But we've always. Gareth, are you going to let me answer the question? Or are you going to keep droning on in your monotonous, rude voice? What are you going to do, buddy?
No, I'm just saying. Like
we've always had terrorism in this country.
Yeah, but once they were white and now they're like Muslim. It's like,
So because they're brown, it's scarier.
Not really.
Well, why did you bring up the colour? Why did you bring up the colour? Yeah, but you just said one was white. So what's the colour of them got to do with it?
No, there's nothing to do with that. Basically, I'm saying the government is selling us different terrorists. At the end of the day, I remember. You remember the time before the war on terror? War on terror. How can you win a war on a word?
Gareth, you've smoked enough weed tonight, buddy. Just put your little stash box away. Put your little stash box away.
About 9/11.
Put your little stash box away. Turn your PlayStation off. Go to bed, man.
Come on, Ian. You had a career once.
I've got a career now, but listen, if you phone up to take pot shots at me, it ain't working. I'm earning money. I've worked in this business for 20 years with only 8 continuous months where I wasn't employed. I'm feeding my kids and I've almost paid my mortgage off. So if you're going to take pot shots, it ain't working, Gareth.
I'm not taking pot shots.
Well, you are. You've had a few nasty little digs, and they're not taking hold. You phoned up just to be mean.
I'm not taking pot shots at all.
No, Gareth, you have. And they're not taking.
I've got a lot of respect for you, Ian. I've got a lot of respect.
No, you haven't, Gareth. You've got no respect for me, and I've got zero respect for you. You're a rude, horrible little man.
I'm just a person.
Thanks very much for calling. Let's go to Jack. Good evening, Jack.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, man. What you got for us?
Yeah, I just want to say your hair's looking good tonight, Ian.
My hair?
Yeah.
Do you think? Are you watching on Periscope?
I'm just outside, actually. Yeah.
What the heck? Whoa!
Yeah, I know.
Whoa!
No, it's brilliant.
Where are you, man?
If you just check around to the right past the nearest fire exit.
Yeah?
Hey
man, I can see you!
Hello, how are you?
Hey man, I'm good. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Ian, thanks.
Thanks for calling, man.
Cheers, buddy, I'll be...
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. What a delightful fruitcake. Evening, Kyle.
Evening, boss, you alright?
What is going on with people tonight, Kyle?
It's a bit weird.
I like it, though. We're starting to get more and more new callers, which is brilliant, right? And so regular callers and people who've been calling since day one, please don't be offended. If when you call up and you speak to Cass or you speak to Emma or you speak to Catherine and they say, hey, listen, thanks very much for calling tonight, maybe try a little bit later in the week, please don't be offended. All it means is that we are getting a bigger deck of cards to play with, and it just means we can start creating a broader show with more voices, different accents, different opinions, and for me, this is what me and Catherine have been working for since March the 21st last year, is a show where we start to get random people phoning up, we start to get different opinions phoning up, and we start to get people who have a pop at me just because I'm not on the telly anymore. That for me is what late night radio is all about.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Anyway, Carl, what you got for us?
Well, I was going to say, I was wondering whether I could play my Joker.
Whoa, Kyle, listen, with 12 minutes to go, you want to play your Joker? Of course you can. It's well within your rights to do it. Away you go, sir.
Well, I was because I did it at Cobbison, listening to the show,
yep.
and you said I was persistent about the DWP, and when I tell you, you'll get properly angry. So I'd rather get the venom out now, on the phone with you, and then not ring you tomorrow.
Hang on a minute. What this sounds like to me, right? If he wants to come back, Cass, he can come back. But what it sounds like to me is you haven't got faith in your DWP topic that is booked in for 11:40 tomorrow night. You haven't got faith in it. You're wobbling a bit, Kyle. Wobbling.
You know what? You're wrong. And actually, I'll give you credit, sir. Because I thought you were going to call me a bottler.
No. But you're wobbling. You're not a bottler. You're a wobbler. Which in many cases is worse.
I ain't a wobbler.
You're wobbling, buddy. You're wobbling.
I ain't wobbling.
You're
I ain't
wobbling.
steady
You don't think that your DWP topic is good enough to be on tomorrow night's groundbreaking show? So you want to spaff it off now?
I just don't want to bring the show down tomorrow.
So you want to bring the show down tonight?
Well, no, I don't. I don't want to do either. But this is a great way of doing radio, because they always say you should never send an email in anger. So this is really good. Like you set this up on Monday or Tuesday, and it's really weird that I've thought about it all week, and I'm still quite irritated.
Yeah,
I'm still quite angry enough to vent.
Yeah. I am. Your Joker is denied, and that's dealer's privilege. Dealer's privilege. Your Joker is denied, Kyle. Tomorrow at 11:40, I would like to hear your story about the DWP. Not tonight at 10:50.
It's heartbreaking. You'll get angry on my behalf.
I might not. I might be on their side. I pay taxes. It's my taxes we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I'm stealing a living now. Yeah, you're quite right as ever.
Stop wobbling, Kyle. Stop wobbling. Let's go to... Now, how do I say this? Virushka? Yeah, let's say Virushka.
Virushka.
Virushka. Oh, Virushka. Oh, Virushka. Hello, Virushka.
Hi.
We had this conversation last time.
Arlo and I...
Sorry?
Got edible bugs.
Sorry?
Arlo and I got edible bugs.
Oh, you got the... But now I bought edible...
he loves the locusts.
Yep.
He loves the mealworms.
Yes.
He's not fond of the crickets, but he says they're okay.
Great band.
He has the mealworms on yogurt. He had, for breakfast this morning, he had lemon curd, natural yogurt, topped with mealworms. I prefer the crickets.
I ordered a load of these edible bugs for my kids, right? And a great expense, right? And then, because I've been away from home for a bit for various reasons, and when I can't find the bugs. The boys won't tell me if they've eaten them. I think they turned up, they had a look at them and just chucked them in the bin.
Or did they surprise you and really loved them? Because I have to tell him too much protein is not good for you either.
No.
I mean, I literally have to lock them away.
But they're tiny, those edible bugs are tiny, though. You can't OD on protein.
The locust is the size of your ring finger.
I wonder what you were going to say then. I wondered what you were... Hey, you listen, Virushka, you know I'm being brave and I'm trying to overcome my fear of spiders. I'm terrified of spiders, okay? And so the last few months I've decided I'm going to overcome my fear. So if I see a spider, instead of crushing it with a book, I now pick it up by its leg and I hold it at arm's length and I chuck it out of the window all the time saying...
No. Just put it in the pan. With the butter, the garlic.
Dirty woman.
Add some noodles and whatever you like.
Yes.
Call it the stir fry.
Thanks very much for calling, Virushka, you weirdo. So I'm holding spiders at arm's length and saying out loud, you can't hurt me, you can't hurt me. There was one in the bath the other day. The spider was the size of my palm. Without the fingers, it was the size of my palm. And I did it. I picked it up. I had tissue paper, but I picked it up. Right, okay, listen. Noah, good evening, Jonathan.
Hello.
Hello, Jonathan. Just to let you know, I've recently bought Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, as they are classic games. And if anyone wants to play me on Xbox One about 2 o'clock in the morning after this show, add Michael Nesmith. I'll be playing Left 4 Dead 2.
Right.
What have you got for us tonight?
I just thought we could play a little game over the next 2 hours, you, me, and the listeners.
Okay, go on then.
Yeah, how about we invent our own religion?
Oh, dear goodness gracious me. Okay, yes.
I mean, the thing is, you can do almost anything. Do we have a god? Do we have more than one god? Do we have no gods at all? Is it like reincarnation?
Well, hang on. Reincarnation isn't a religion, though.
No, but it could be part of our religion.
Oh, yeah. How can you have are there any religions that don't have gods? I know Buddhism doesn't have a god, but then Buddhism isn't really a religion, is it?
Neither is Sikhism, apparently.
And they have loads of gods.
No, that's Hinduism.
Oh, casual racism. We need to have a god.
Yeah, I've got a suggestion for a name for our religion.
All right, go on then.
And a god.
Yep.
the unexplained.
Oh. With Howard Hughes?
Howard Hughes is our God.
Oh, buddy! This is wonderful! I'm writing this down as if I'm going to do something.
Yeah, and we could have our own prophets and scriptures and laws like on what food we can eat, what food we can't eat, where we pray to. The possibilities are endless.
Jonathan, you have started it. 03444991000 is the phone number. Thank you for... I'm just moving on because I want to try and squeeze these last calls in. Good evening, Sally.
Hello, Ian, you alright?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. What you got for us?
Have you got any slots after 12?
Yeah. I've got, you can have 10 past 12?
Yeah, alright then.
What do you want to talk about?
I've got a family dilemma I need help with.
Okay, we'll speak to you tomorrow. I'm moving on just because we've only got a couple of minutes. Bye. We've got a couple of minutes on this left and then these... Guy, can I help you?
I love you, man.
I love you too, Guy. What do you want? He's gone. That's lovely. Great. Okay, Ben?
Yeah, hi. It's Ben here. Just like to say I'm calling from New York, and I want to give a shout-out to your Periscope watchers, including Julia, and it's great to hear you here.
Hang on a minute. So did you find this by accident, just because Periscope popped up, or are you a regular listener stroke viewer?
No, I'm not a regular listener, but one of your viewers shared it with me on Periscope, so I tuned in.
Julie's a little bit of an internet hussy, isn't she? Does she sext you?
No comment there.
Does she sext you?
This is all on a need-to-know basis. So
she sexts me. She's constantly sexting me. Well, Ben, we were in New York a couple of months ago. We did the show from New York for a week.
Oh, yeah, fabulous.
Yo, go and check.
You're always welcome here.
Well, Ben, thank you very much. If we ever do it again, we'll let you know. In fact, we are thinking of doing another trip. And I don't know... Thank you, Ben, watching on Periscope. I don't know where to go. Part of me thinks Paris. A part of me thinks Nashville. I know, the obvious place would be go to LA, so I don't want to do it. I hate LA. Part of me thinks Nashville... In Paris would be easier in terms of finance and... it would just be easier, right? But Nashville's more exciting. Do you know what I mean? So I need to... In fact, this weekend, I'm going to have a little look at that. Busy old weekend, this. We're going to start a new religion. Why the hell not? It's the unexplained. Howard Hughes is our God, okay? We need to hone this down a little bit, if we can. 0344 499 1000. Ben, sorry I kept you so short there from New York. Next time you call in, I promise you'll have longer. The door is shut. Tomorrow's show is finalised. I will type this up and post this on my Facebook page tomorrow. That's how sad my life is. You can still call in though, 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative. My name is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We're going to build a religion. We're going to dedicate it. Our Lord and Master will be the one and only Howard Hughes. Do give us a call and help us shape it. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
In this love and time
Evening, Sam.
Evening, how's it going?
It's going very, very well, Sam. What have you got for us this evening?
Right, well, talking about deities and religion and so on.
Yes.
If we're constructing religion, what about we create a deity that's disabled in a wheelchair or has some form of disability? Diversity's good.
Well, but then wouldn't that imply... Because surely a god is all-powerful...
But who's to say they're not... Who's to say that disabled people aren't...
Go on.
In the face... In the shape of God? You know? You can be, so why can't I?
I understand what you're saying, and I'm not rejecting the idea outright, Sam. We're just kicking this around. I don't know if you're able to kick it around physically, but I am.
No, but if metaphorically, maybe.
Yes. Okay. Good. Let's have a metaphorical kick around.
Yes.
But if I'm going to say something that's going to get me into trouble. Do I say it? Oh yeah, why the hell not?
Say what you want.
When has it ever stopped me before, Sam? Right, if I was a god, right, if God is surely all-powerful, so if, for example, I had a condition that meant I was confined to a wheelchair, then if I was all-powerful or God, I could rectify that condition, couldn't I?
Very possibly, but who's to say that that's not how we're all meant to be? You know?
Hang on a minute.
You're the disabled one and I'm not.
Hang on a minute. I see what you're doing, and I like it. But you're wrong. Because stairs... Stairs,
yes.
So you're obviously if you're I don't know what your disability is, Sam. You don't have to tell me. But if you are unable to run up a flight of stairs, and I can although I find stairs as I get older so much harder work than they used to be. But then that would be a simple test to show who was the most disabled.
But,
we actually have.
But then there's an elevator.
Yeah.
So a lift was invented probably by God, and you know, maybe that's why we have elevators, because that's what we're meant to be.
We call them lifts. We're not in America. Weren't lifts invented by a Scotsman?
My wife's American, so
I think. Oh, okay. Weren't lifts invented by a Scotsman?
I've no idea.
I don't know. I for some reason it rings a tiny little bell in the back of my head. But we've already established that Howard Hughes is our god.
Well, he could be one of our gods.
Oh.
Who's to say we can't have more?
Go on then, buddy. Then Sam, listen, you've won me over. Yes, I might win in a race, but in a mental battle, we're almost equals. Go on then.
I'll bow down to you, Ian, on that one.
Can you?
I can just about bow.
Okay, so. Good. All right. Well, who? Okay, so I like the idea of Howard Hughes because he's got the voice of God.
He had mental illness, so. I mean, he had a form of disability.
No, fair play. Give you that. Very modern. I like it. But let's put someone in a wheelchair, shall we?
Yeah, why not?
Who?
Well,
Ironside.
I think Stephen Hawking will make a great god. But even if he doesn't believe in God, he is the god. He's the Don.
Can Stephen Hawking be the son of Howard Hughes?
I suppose he's probably young enough to be.
That's all I need. Stephen Hawking is the son of God.
Indeed.
In our religion, which is called the unexplained, and the because I'm a traditionalist, Sam. And I know that a lot of these Asian religions have got many gods. I like the idea of one God. I really do. I do.
Well, we can have the Son of God then. I'll grant that to you.
All right, brilliant. Sam, he's on.
Good. Well, I'm pleased with that.
Also means it will be harder to nail him to a cross.
Well, it depends how severely disabled you are, I suppose. I mean, he's a bit twisted, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's Hawking.
Yes. Yeah.
But he's probably a bit stiff in the joints because he doesn't use them very much.
Well,
so I would assume it might be a bit awkward.
Sam,
you can make a specially shaped cross, I suppose.
There we go. It wouldn't be a cross, though, would it? It'd be a curve. Sam, thank you. I think we're almost crossing the lines of what's actually acceptable on the radio. But this is what we do here. Let's go to Pete. Good evening, Pete.
Good evening, sir.
What you got for us, Pete?
Well, I'm good here. Well, we're talking about religion, and obviously people have mentioned the awful things that have happened today. I'm trying to think, what is the antithesis of all the horror that's going on in the world.
Antithesis, yes.
And I'd like to... Sorry.
That's all right.
Ian.
No, I'm sorry for being a pedant, but I just, it's my job to be a pedant, and that's what I'm doing.
That's absolutely your right and privilege.
Thank you, sir.
So, what I was going to suggest for this religion is what's the least offensive kind of music we can listen to? And the thing I can come up with, and it's part of what I'll work with...
Ed Sheeran.
No, he's offensive.
Oh.
Disney songs.
What?
Disney songs.
Say that again.
Disney.
Disney songs?
Disney songs.
Oh,
songs
no,
from
Disney
films.
has a great heritage of racism. Don't you think?
Well, yeah.
Oh, you want it to be a racist religion? Oh, listen, if you want it to be.
No, they aren't racist now. There's a lot of companies and things that used to do that sort of thing, and no, it's not acceptable, but in the sort of more modern era, a lot of the songs are quite empowering.
Okay.
I mean, you've got films like Frozen, and that deals with things like depression, and if you look at the sort of story and the way it's written, it's about someone finding themselves and being able to express themselves.
Okay, I tell you what, hang on a minute, I've just got an idea. Pete, stay there, I'm going to play a Disney song. Just let me know if you think this works. Let me just indulge me. This is, have a listen to this. By the way, this is one of the biggest rock stars ever recording this. You know who this is? One of the biggest stars of the 70s, dear listener. What do you reckon, Pete? Do we go with that?
I quite like that.
Do you know that was one of the biggest rock stars of the 1970s?
I honestly don't. To my complete horror, I don't know who that was.
It was, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gene Simmons of Kiss. There we go.
No.
Gene Simmons of Kiss singing "When You Wish Upon a Star." Can I play you while we're doing it? Because I like that a lot. Gene Simmons also did. Going to play you another song that Gene Simmons did, right? This is not quite as good. It just indulged me for 30 seconds, Pete. Hang on a minute. This is Gene Simmons as well. Yeah. Here we go.
Trouble starter, pumpkin instigator.
Yeah, that one's not quite so good. I think we'll...
Slightly more terrible, that, isn't it?
Slightly more terrible.
Slightly terrible. But yeah, I mean, like things like Wish Upon a Star, and I think there's enough uplifting, non-offensive, non-racist stuff in Disney's back catalogue, and possibly even make Gene Simmons some kind of bishop or pope.
Ooh, I don't. Here's the thing: I like Kiss a lot, and I know it's not fashionable to. I do like Kiss, but I've met Gene Simmons, and
is he a bit of a wrong un? He comes across as a bit of a wrong un when you see him on TV.
He touched at my young female producer at the time, and we both laughed it off. And what I should have done, because I'm slightly older than this producer, it wasn't Kath, it was at another place. What I should have done is I should have said, "Oi, steady on, mate, that's out of order." Yeah. And I didn't. And I laughed along with the producer, and I laughed along with him. And and it's one of my few big regrets that I didn't step in and say, "Hey mate, that's out of order. Do that again, and we're off." Because that's what I should have done, and that's to my shame. And it just made me think, oh, you dirty old man. You know, he was probably in his late 50s, early 60s, and she was 23, and it left a very bad taste in my mouth.
Oh dear. No, not
so good. We won't make Gene a bishop. Well, I tell you what, we'll make Ace Frehley, the guitar player, a bishop. There we go.
Yes, that'll do.
Ace is. I'm actually drawing this as though I'm going to do something with this one day. It's just going to go in the bin at the end of the night.
Some kind of family tree of this religion. Is that what you're doing?
So I'm drawing. If you're watching on Periscope, I'm doing this, and honestly, it'll just go in the bin at the end of the night. It'll go in there. Pete, thank you very much indeed. Anthony, Stephen, and Dom, stay there. 0344 499 1000. The late night alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. The late night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I'm reminded, you can watch the show as well. You can listen on, retune your DAB radios to listen to Talk Radio. Talk Radio. You can download the Talk Radio app, which is what I tend to listen to on my phone. Or you can go online, talkradio.co.uk. You can also watch the show on Periscope. It's on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Iain Lee. Couldn't remember it then for a second. You can watch the show there. I'm reminded, I've been to the cinema. We went to see, I'm refusing to see the Emoji Movie because that looks awful. But we went to see, we went to see The Nut Job 2. Very disappointing. If I'm honest, it was very, very disappointing. I enjoyed The Nut Job 1, or as we called it, Nut Job. But Nut Job 2, I just thought was utter rubbish, really. Well, I'd give it a 2 out of 5. But there was a trailer for a new movie, and it looked like the laziest movie of all time. The My Little Pony movie. But it looked like, the drawings looked like they'd been done in the 1980s. It looked terrible. And normally when any trailer comes up, my kids say, can we go and see that? Can we go and see that? And boy, oh boy, we're so looking forward to the Ninjago movie. Can't wait for that. Can we go and see that? Can we go and see? Yeah. Because I like going to the cinema, and it's cool for them. Even they didn't say during the My Little Pony trailer, can we go and see that? Even they weren't bothered by it. It looks awful. Good evening, Anthony.
Hi, Ian. How are you?
I'm okay, Anthony. What you got?
Right, what it is, right, I've listened to you and James tonight. There's been a lot of arguments against God. God doesn't exist. If God was there, why does he allow this to happen?
Not on this show, there hasn't been.
All right, okay, but I have heard...
Not on this show, you haven't.
Well, I'm not going to, let us say, put forward any Christian opinions, right?
No. I think listen. Hang on, Anthony. Let's have a conversation.
Right.
You've not heard. You've not heard me or anyone on this show, and I can't speak for James's show. I wasn't listening to it tonight. I was doing other things. So let's just talk.
James's show.
That's great. Well, you phone up James to talk about James's show. You're on my show now.
Right. Okay. What I want to do is, if I'm allowed to, is put forward the main argument that Christians use in the West to say that God exists.
Yes, free choice. It's free. It's free choice. We have the choice to we have free choice. That's why there's all this bad stuff going on.
The central argument that Christians have used since the 3rd century comes from St. Augustine. Yeah. And St. Augustine...
this is
well, let me just say this, fine?
Why? It's boring. Why are you doing this?
It might be boring to you, but, you know, you've got a couple of hundred listeners out there.
We've got a couple of thousand listeners. No, listen, trust me, dude. Right. I know what my listeners like, and it ain't this.
All right. Okay, then. All right, well, I'll speak to James. Thank you.
Don't phone up my show because you heard something on James's show and you want to pick me up on it. You might as well phone me up and say you heard something on Nick Ferrari's show and you want to pick me up on it. Or you heard something on Blue Peter and you want to pick me up. It's nothing to do with me. What happens Monday to Thursday between 7 and 10, absolutely nothing to do with me whatsoever. The only bit of broadcasting on this station I'm responsible for is Monday to Friday, 10 o'clock at night until 1 in the morning. And to suddenly start talking about 3rd century saints. Jeez, really? Oh, God. Evening, Stephen.
Hi, Ian.
Hey, Stephen.
A little bit of a funny call. No, I haven't spoken to you for a while, but last time I rang you, you weren't impressed with my suggestion of using the taxi theme instead of the little hobo.
Oh, it was a terrible idea. Yes, I remember. Well done. Well done for calling back, though. It's good. I like the taxi theme. It's great, but it's just a little bit too slow.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a good song.
Yeah. Now, about your Howard Hughes thing, I was thinking, for slogans and such like, you could use some of your Monkeys things like "We were born to love one another" that you played a few minutes ago, and even like "We're too busy singing to put anybody down." Because if everybody was singing, there wouldn't be much.
That's such a joyous line. We're too busy singing to put anybody down. Wow, and if only you're right, Stephen. That is a great. It's not a commandment, but that's a great tenet to live your life by. Just be busy singing, so you can't go on Twitter, you can't go on the radio, you can't go in the newspapers and slag people off.
Yeah, because you're so busy. You've got a tune in your mind, and you're humming along, you're singing along, and whether you can sing well or badly, and and you don't have time to slag people off and say, "Oh, that's so and so," and bleep bleep bleep. No, you're too busy having fun singing.
Danny Kelly. I don't know if you heard when Danny Kelly was in with me on Tuesday.
I did, yeah.
It was good, wasn't it? I really enjoyed it. It was nice to do something different. And he talked about that sacred harp singing, where it's big in America, where they build these choirs out of people that can't necessarily sing. But because they sing with such gusto, it creates a natural harmony.
Well, exactly, yeah. Because I think, I've got friends. I know I've got a friend, female around the corner from me, and she says, "Oh, I can't sing." I say, "I know you can. Everyone can sing. We might not sing to opera standards, obviously, but we can sing. And I think it's like dance. Everyone, like you get the dad syndrome, where they feel embarrassed and dance in front of their kids, but at least they can have a go and dance.
Oh God! Here's the thing, right? When I was at a wedding years and years ago, right? I was in my 30s, and I was with a young lady. And up until that point in my life, I'd never danced. I'd certainly never danced sober, shall we say, right?
Yeah, I know.
And the music came on, and I went, do you know what? Sod this. I'm going to get up and have a dance. And we danced for hours, and it was the most... and it was awful, but it was the most enjoyable thing, Stephen. Just letting go. Once I'd let go of that thing of thinking, gosh, I wonder what people will be thinking of me. Once I got rid of that, it was beautiful. I had the best. It was like being high. There was an endorphin rush.
I know what you mean. It's like, they talk about the glass ceiling. I think sometimes we've got like glass walls. We spend too much time thinking, oh, I can't say that, or I can't do that, because what will they think of me? If I start dancing, if someone looks at me and says, oh, look, he's making a fool of himself, and we worry far too much about stuff like that, I think.
Here's my thing, and I keep trying to grab onto it, and I forget it, and I grab onto it, and I grabbed onto it tonight. Don't be afraid to fail, right? That's the key to happiness and success, right? And it came to me because me and Kath are doing this tour of the rabbit hole, and we're playing Scunthorpe and Brighton and Hull, and we are playing London and a few and Belfast, right? I don't know if anyone listens to us in Hull. I don't know if anyone listens to us in Belfast. People probably didn't even get the 11 o'clock show in Belfast. I don't know. But we've booked these venues. And if no one turns up, it's fine. Don't be afraid to fail. Once you realise that, then everything, it just becomes a joy.
I know, absolutely, because you might have a good surprise. You might go up there thinking, well, people don't listen to me up here in Belfast, and you might get a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, be open-minded and go along with the flow. Exactly.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Nice to talk to you, mate. Let's go to Dom. Good evening, Dom.
Evening, boss. You all right?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't help but notice that you're encouraging people to ring up as me.
I'm not.
A few times now.
I'm not actually encouraging. What I am saying is that Dom is calling up the show tomorrow for his 10:46 slot. And by the way, you guys, you've got to call up before your slot. Don't call up at 10:46 because then we've got to phone you back, and then it'll be 10:47, right? But if someone, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type this list of tomorrow's schedule. I'm going to type it up. I'm going to post it on. Well, which is no.
I don't know.
No, this is the thing. This is why I paused before saying the word, because I think schedule is the English version.
I do as well, but I prefer to say schedule.
Well, I've always said schedule, but then I realised that actually that's an Americanism, and God damn it, there's enough of that.
Bloody phone.
Sorry?
Will someone answer that phone?
Hang on a minute. Can you get the phone, please? I think they've got it now. Flipping that phone is driving me, doing my tits in. There we go. At last, I am. I'm gonna say schedule.
Well, do we have the computer program that does oral and oral, whatever?
Let's get it. All right, actually, yeah. Pronounce. Hang on. Pronounce schedule. Here we go. Right. Where's how to pronounce schedule? Here we go. Let's have this.
There are two ways to pronounce this word: the US version and the non-US version.
Yeah.
So the non-US version is schedule.
Oh!
Schedule.
Right.
Schedule.
Right.
The US version is schedule.
Schedule. Thanks very much. I was wrong. I'm going to say schedule. Schedule from now on.
It's that easy.
Yep. So if anyone wants to phone up tomorrow at 10:46 or just before and pretend to be Dom talking about shoe sizes, controversial topic.
I will have you. I will break your legs.
Thanks very much indeed. There we go. The threats of violence, guys. That's what the world needs more of, doesn't it? 0344 499 1000. I'll tell you what, let's take a break. This is the Late Night Alternative. My name is Iain Lee. You're listening to Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Max is listening. Max is 14. Well done, Max. Congratulations. And Joanne is listening in Hull. She's listening in Hull. Buy a ticket to come and see our show in October, The Rabbit Hole in Hull at Cardamom 94. I don't know if anybody, apart from Joanne, now she's got tattooed fingers. Does that not hurt? The tattooing of the old finger, is that not a little bit painful? I would have thought so. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is the Late Night Alternative. I'll let you know now. For the first time since we came in at 10 o'clock, we have an absolutely clear, empty switchboard. There is nothing there. So if you phone up, you'll get on, and you'll get on sharpish, guys. Absolutely sharpish, guys. By the way, watched a brilliant film about Sly and the Family Stone. An act that I know absolutely nothing about, or I knew absolutely nothing about, and it's a really, really good film. It's not out yet. It's called On the Sly. Great title. And it's about this young man who's obsessed with... It's a documentary. He's obsessed with Sly Stone, excuse me, and tries to track him down because he's sort of become a recluse and disappeared. Really good film, and we've got him on. The director of that film is going to come on the show next week to talk about that, which is exciting. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock, sponsored by Globotech, I'm going to meet, of all people, I am going to meet David Hamilton. Who'd have thought it? I'm going to go and have a coffee with David Hamilton to talk about his new book. He's written a book about Radio 1. That's pretty good. Let's be honest, it's not the greatest book in the world. You can read it in an afternoon, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I'm a radio geek. And what's interesting in that book is he talks about Savile. Because nobody who worked at Radio 1 or worked in the BBC, nobody talks about Savile, you know, and of course he's airbrushed from history, so it's really interesting to read a chapter about Jimmy Savile from someone who worked with him. Not very often. He kind of makes the point that Savile was very aloof, considered himself to be bigger than all of the other presenters at Radio 1 and had very little contact with them. But it was interesting. So meeting him tomorrow. Who else have we got coming up? Tim Brooke-Taylor is coming up soon. We've also got Anne Moses coming on again because she's brilliant. Remember, she wrote... What was it she edited? I can never remember the name. Teen Beat, Tiger Beat magazine in the 60s and was friends with, like, Elvis and stuff like that. So she's coming on again. Who else is there? There's somebody else. There's somebody else. There's somebody else. And Tim Heidecker. Tim Heidecker's and Neil Hamburger. Tim from Tim and Eric and Decker. Honestly, if you've not seen Decker, right? If you enjoy my show, go and watch Decker, because I think you'll dig it. I think you'll consider it to be a similar humour. Basically, it's a 10-minute long. Each episode's 10 minutes long. Kind of spy spoof series, and the acting in it is just awful. Awful, but it's meant to be awful. Quite often, you'll see a shot of someone, and off camera, someone will go, say that you really miss him. I really miss him. It's all green screened to hilarious effect. It's such a good. You can watch it on various. Yeah, if you know your way around the internet, you'll be able to find it. It's such a good show, and he's doing a series of live shows in London at the Soho Theatre, which me and Catherine are going to. But I'm going to go and meet him next Monday. And interview him. So, the way next week looks is we'll probably have David Hamilton will get played out on Monday, and I'd imagine that Tim Heidecker will get played out on Tuesday. Also, I'm watching. Sorry, you don't mind if I kind of recommend movies and series, do you? No, of course not. Good. Well, if you do, I'm sorry, Mark. I'll come to you in a minute. 0344 499 1000. Tim and Eric. It's like American low-budget sketch team, and it took me a long time to get into them because I watched a clip years ago and didn't like it, and then I watched it again when we were in New York actually, and I fell completely head over heels in love with it. They did a film called Tim and Eric's $1 Billion Movie, and I'd always put off watching it because it gets really stinky reviews. I'm halfway through it. It's flipping brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm lolling a lot. Hip, 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 Mark.
Hip, 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 boss, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm hot. I'm hungry because I really am trying to lose weight now. I'm chugging on this Huel, on this food supplement, and I'm hungry, man. But I'm excited. I tell you why, Mark. I haven't been at home recently for a bit, and my family, as of tonight, have gone away for a week, right? So I'm back in the house. The family have gone away. And I've bought some Xbox games, I've ordered some DVDs, and I've got loads of books. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do is I'm going to read books. Amazing. I'm going to play some games, and and watch some films, and that's it. Although on Sunday, after my Virgin show, thanks to Globotech, I am doing something which I can't tell you what I'm doing. But trust me, it is very, very exciting. And when it drops, you guys are going to want a piece of it. Trust me, it's going to be great. Can't say any more than that, Mark.
It's exciting, boss.
But it's going to drop.
No, it's going to drop big style.
Oh, mate, it's going to drop, and it's going to change the face of entertainment as we know it. Anyway, what have you got for us, Mark?
Buying back stuff you've got rid of.
Oh, man alive. This is all my... When we had kids, I cleared out all of my second-hand retro games consoles because we're going to use the spare room as the kids' bedroom. So I just gave them away. And then when we moved house, we moved house twice since then, and I just got rid of loads of records and DVDs and films because to make space. And now I'm just spending my whole time buying the stuff back.
Yeah, DVDs. I went through like a phase where I just sold all my DVDs, and now I'm just gradually buying them all back. But there's my holy grail.
Yeah.
Is the Sopranos complete box set.
Uh-oh.
Because it cost me like 75 quid, and so like, I had to save up for it at the time and stuff, and then I sold it for about 20 quid to CEX. And now it haunts me. Any time I go into like a HMV or something, I have to like go and look at it.
Yeah.
And I know if I buy it, I'm never going to watch it.
No.
I never watched it when I had it in the first place.
This is the same with the Laurel and Hardy box set, right? It's nearly all their stuff. 21 DVDs. It was 100 quid when I got it. And I had it for years, and I only watched about 3 DVDs. And so I got rid of it. But now, ever since then, I've been thinking, could really do with having that box set back, and I've just bought it tonight.
I think one day I'm just going to snap and buy it again.
Right,
but like I say, I'll never watch it.
Right, hang on a minute. What we're going to do is we're going to look on. Sex seems to be the best place to buy this. To buy stuff. It seems to be cheaper than Amazon. Sopranos, season 1 to 6.
Complete.
28 DVDs.
That's the one.
Right. How much would you be prepared to dip into your pocket and buy it for?
Like I said, I think I sold it for the low 20s, so I'd happily around 30.
I'll tell you what, you give me 30 quid and I'll get that box set for you. They've got it on there for 25 quid, mate.
Oh, what? I've got to do it.
You've got to do it. It's 25 knicker on Computer Exchange website.
Yeah, I'll just tell my missus it was a fiver as well.
Yeah, exactly. Lie to her. She's never going to know. This is great. I tell you when it hit me that I was doing the wrong thing, getting rid of all this stuff, right, was when I thought I was going to meet a bloke called Ricky Fattar, who was in the Beach Boys in 1972, right? He was the drummer in the Beach Boys for a year. And I thought I was going to meet him. And I was looking through my records, trying to find the Beach Boys in Concert 1972 double album that I remember buying when I was 15, right? And I couldn't find it. And I kept going through my records, and I couldn't find it. And then I remembered it was one of the records I got rid of because I have it on compact disc. Idiot. Absolute stupid idiot.
Muppet.
Mark, go and buy it, mate, and never watch it.
I will do.
Thank you, mate.
See you soon.
Cheers, my dears. 0344 499 1000. Jim, stay there. Come to you after this.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Here's the thing. I'm getting loads of you saying that the schedule thing was wrong, and I thought it was wrong. Very rarely am I incorrect when it comes to pronunciation, right? So now listen to this.
Schedule.
Say it again.
Schedule.
Say it again, buddy.
Schedule.
That's the English way to say it. Schedule. Is that it? You gonna do it again?
Schedule.
So that other website, that other clip was wrong. So we do pronounce schedule in this country. So I am right. Good evening, Jim. Jim?
Hello, hi. Hi, Ian. How you doing? You all right?
I'm good, thanks, Jim. I'm hungry, but I'm all right. What you got for us?
Good, good. Ian, you touched upon about Americanisms creeping into the English language earlier on.
Yes.
And I have to I've been wanting to say this to you for 10 years. It's not offensive. I'm a big fan of yours. But now is my moment.
But, yes.
Kinda.
What?
Kinda. You're a big fan of the word kinda. But I was chatting to my mate Pat in the pub the other day. He's also picked up the word kinda because he said, I'm going to kinda like go to the bar.
Oh, kinda,
said,
yes.
Yeah, and I said, Iain Lee does the longest, he'll go, it's kinda like... Right, so that's like Americanism. I said, everyone's doing the kind of thing. Now, in the old days, it used to be sort of. But now, it's creeping into Radio 4, all these posh broadcasts.
Oh, and I'll tell you another one. Gonna. They say gonna on Radio 4.
Right.
I'm gonna go to the phones. I'm gonna go to the shops. I'm gonna get you, sucker. It's terrible, isn't it? But here we go. Here we go. I've got a good defence if you want to hear it.
I do.
Language evolves throughout the centuries, and the kind of gotta is just a natural evolution. I don't think it's a creeping up of Americanisms in our speech.
What about young people? Okay, when you hear them on the bus, at the end of every sentence, they go like. And then they combine kinda with like. It's kind of like this, and it's kind of like that, and you know, it's like it just gets in the end.
Yeah,
you've got all these like university kids. They're all quite intelligent and all the rest of it.
Kind of like intelligent.
Kinda. You know what? I'm doing it.
Here's the thing. I wonder, because when I was a kid, and this might have been a regional thing, we didn't say, like, right? We didn't go, it was like, you know, we used to say right all the time. So we go, I was at school, right? And this kid came up to me, right? And, he said to me, right, that, so we said right a lot, but I've not come across that as much as people who say like.
No, but what kids then went on to say, yeah, quite like, now they got the in it thing coming in, so kids now, everything is in it, it's the same sort of thing, it's like in it. So it's their version of right, it's their version of yeah. And of course, the other thing what people do now, and middle class people do this, you talk to them, you say something to them, they go, yeah. And it's like really annoying because you look at them and think, actually, you're from Fulham, you're talking quite posh, but then suddenly you go, yeah, at the end of it.
Two of my favourite things on phone-in radio shows, right? My favourite thing is when, for example, if you called, I called into your show, right? And so you go, okay, we've got Iain on the line. I go, yeah, hello, Iain. I mean, Jim. When callers say their own names instead of the host's name, right? I love it. And it happens more than you think. You listen out for it, you'll hear it. But the other thing, and it doesn't happen so much here, it happens on other stations, I hear it, where they go, okay, we've got Jim from Harrow. Good evening, Jim. And you will come on and go, good. Right. And they'll fire off 3 or 5 goods. How you doing, Jim? Good. Now, what I've called in for... So, Jim, it's good to talk to you. You having a good day? Good. Now, what I want to... And they fire off 3 or 5 goods. It's the weirdest thing. It's the... And humans and language and brains are stupid.
Well, one other thing, right? When people phone up TalkSport, your sister station...
Yes.
They'll always phone up and they'll speak to, say, I don't know, Adrian, whatever his name is, and they'll go, are you all right? And he'll go, yeah, we're fine. So every person who's phoning up will ask the presenters how they are, even 2 hours into the show. So you almost didn't say, look, they're fine, they're in the studio, they're broadcasting, they're fit and well, they're okay. There is no need for every caller go, how are you? Are you all right? And that happens all the time.
The late, great Mike Dickin had a brilliant retort, which you're probably aware of. My health is not in question. Every time he'd say, my health is not in question, get to your point. And so I've done it. So I don't know how long you've been listening to this show, Jim, but I've done that sometimes when people have said, you're right, you know, meaning hello. And I've said, you don't want to know. And then they have to go, oh, no, yeah, go on. How you doing? And I'll say, right, well, I'm feeling terrible. I'm not feeling very well. Me and my wife aren't getting... You know, and I'll then do a 5-minute monologue telling them exactly how I am. And of course, no one wants to hear that. But if you're asking the question, how are you, you should expect the answer.
Yeah, it needs to be treated with a bit more respect, definitely.
It needs to be... And I tell you something, we talk about Americanisms, Jim, and I've given up on one. I've accepted one. Reluctantly. For a long time I fought this, but reluctantly I've given in. I will talk... When I talk about American television programmes, I will talk about Season 2 and Season 3. I will not talk... I don't say Series 2 or Series 3. Because otherwise you just get a blank look. No one knows what a series is anymore.
I just want to throw one more word in, okay, and it's very much an English thing. When you listen to traffic bulletins now, what they'll say is the M25 is now cleared at junction 16. However, the however word is now overused. It used to be reserved for certain situations. Everything now is however, everything, right? Now, these words...
God, every time I hear however, Jim, I literally want to kill myself.
It's true. Okay, it's not me, but everyone's at it.
Jim, thank you for that. Stop listening to TalkSport. It's a terrible station and it'll make you go blind.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much indeed. It's true. It's a terrible station and it will actually make you go blind, particularly if you're masturbating to it all day, which is what I do. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You're more than welcome. I'm supposed to be looking at the papers. I keep getting told I'm meant to do more in the papers, so I don't keep getting told. I got told once, and I wear that as a badge. Let's have a look in the Daily Star. Daily Star. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? What have I written down here? Oh. No, hang on a minute. Oh, God, no, oh, no, nightmare. I've written down the wrong page for the stories. Oh, that completely screws everything up. Oh, no. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. We're in big trouble then if that's the... There was a story about carrots in the Daily Star. Aha! I'm looking at the Mirror. That's why. Looking at the wrong newspaper. That's why. Because I'm an idiot. Without Catherine here, I'm an idiot. There's no hope whatsoever. Right, here we go. You're going to like this story about carrots. If I have a bloody final thing. You might not. It's not that good a story. It's rude. So if you're listening, Max, put your fingers in your ears. Or carrots. A village toilet block has been shut after reports of kinky sex acts involving carrots. Kinky sex acts involving carrots. Now, I can think of a sex act involving carrots. I suppose I can think of one kinky sex act involving carrots. The vegetables and women's underwear have been found by cleaners in the facilities. What the hell are these people doing? And Rosemary Richardson, parish council clerk at Silby, Leicestershire, said, kinky, sordid sex acts have been taking place. They're the best kinds of sex acts, aren't they? The kinky, sordid ones. But I am struggling to think, and I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not going to go into graphic detail working it out. I'm thinking about it in my head. But what kinky, sordid sex acts could there be with women's underwear and a carrot? I mean, obviously there's that. Yeah, exactly. I suppose the kinky bit would then, if you take that out and then go there. But then if you take that out and then... I don't really know. I don't really know. It's very noisy in the office tonight. I do apologise. Normally it's empty. 0344 499 1000. TV psychic, and here's the thing. His name is pronounced Uri. Uri. We all want to say Yuri, but it's pronounced Uri. TV psychic Uri Geller's new museum will feature 3 paintings by anyone? Yeah, that's right, Michael Jackson's chimp Bubbles. Is Bubbles still alive? The Spoonbender hopes the amazing art will attract tourists from all over the world. Geller, 70, a close friend of the late King of Pop, promised the animals' paintings will take pride of place when an exhibition opens in Jaffa, that's unfortunate, Israel, next year. He tweeted a photo of himself alongside the pictures with the message, I can do a good Geller, hang on. Uri Geller. I've just received 3 amazing paintings by Bubbles, Michael Jackson's chimpanzee. They are for my museum. I haven't done Geller for a long time. I can normally do. I used to be able to go. Bubbles, guess how old Bubbles is? 34! He's 34 years old. He's looking good for it. Who'd have thought Bubbles would outlive Michael Jackson? Bubbles, 34, has been turning out art from his new home at the Centre for Great Apes in Wauchula, Florida. 5 paintings recently sold for £577 each to raise cash for the sanctuary. Jesus. 12 others have gone on display in Miami, where gallery chief Yancey Miyokyu has insisted they are incredibly popular. He added that the works show a very individual style. And they've got pictures here of the paintings. I'll be honest, they look like they've been done by a monkey, you know? They look like they've been done by a monkey. Thank you. Geller, a former co-chairman of Exeter City Football Club, has announced his museum will also feature rocks taken from his own island, Lamb, in Scotland's Firth of Forth. I'm going to be honest, I like Uri Geller. He's a nice bloke. I've met him. He bent a spoon in front of me. It blew my mind. I wish I'd still kept that bent spoon. I had a signed bent Uri Geller spoon and I got rid of it. Wish I used to be sat on top of my telly. I used to love that. I like Uri Geller. The bending of the spoons is brilliant. He did the mime reading where I drew a picture and he'd do the same picture. Brilliant. It's a good trick, right? His museum, Uri, your museum sounds awful. Your museum sounds awful. You've got 3 pictures that are pony, done by a monkey, and you've got some rock from an island. What is that? What is that? Geller, he believes the island, which he bought for £30,000 in 2009, contains a secret stash of buried treasure. All right, buddy. All right, buddy, if that's what you think. Dear listener, we have another hour of this nonsense to go. If you want to give us a call, do it. Because if you're not on this list tomorrow, unless you're pretending to be one of the people that are on the list, or you're on the list, you won't be allowed on the show. It's as simple as that. So tonight is the night, if you play your cards right, where you can call in 0344 499. Paul, not you.
Yes, hello.
No, not you tonight. Thanks very much for calling. We're not that desperate for calls. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. The way it works is very simple. The call is probably free. Will cost you pennies at most. You'll speak to Cash, she'll take your name and number, and she will give you a call back. Simple as. You can call in about absolutely anything you want whatsoever, and if you don't call, that's fair enough. I shall sit here and just go through the papers for the next hour. How's about that? Sounds all right? Sounds all right. We had a sparky first 2 hours. It doesn't matter if the last hour's a little bit slower, if we slow things down. Don't forget, so many ways you can listen to the show. You can retune your DAB radios. You can listen online at talkradio.co.uk. You've been on already, Andre!
It's not me.
Oh, who is it?
It's Jean-Paul.
Oh, hello, Jean-Paul. What would you like to say?
Sex and drugs and rock and roll are very good indeed.
OK, I can't condone that lifestyle. It is unsustainable. Trust me, I had a darn good go at it, and it's very, very expensive. So if you want to call in, then you're welcome to. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number, and we'll just sit and go through the papers, have a chat, and see what comes out of our little mouths and out of our little heads. How's about them apples? This is the Late Night Alternative. My name is Iain Lee. You're listening to Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Absolutely clear switchboard. We've had a load of calls, so if that's all the calls we get, then so be it. But it'll be nice to talk to you. We can sit and slowly chew the fat. This is the Late Night Alternative. My name is Iain Lee. You are listening to Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I'm all thumbs, no action. A attention deficit distraction. My brain operates on a fraction. All thumbs, no human interaction. I speak in typos, predictive texting. I spell checked it. I stand auto-corrected. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk this, and then you died. Aristocrat. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk this, and then you died. Bring your life back. Emoji. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Your own very worst best friend to me. Emoji. T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E. Predictive text, spell check it. I stand auto-corrected. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk this, and then you died. Aristocrat. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk this, and then you died. Bring your life back. We defy the face time continuum. We defy the face time continuum. I'm speaking typo, predictive texted. I spell checked it. Asterisk. I stand auto-corrected. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. And then you died. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. And then you died. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. And then you died. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. And then you died. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk this, and then you died. Aristocrat. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk this, and then you died. Bring your life back.
Emoji! Oh man, I love Imani so much. Isn't she the best? You know, she sent me, she emails me from time to time. What a thrill. One of my favourite singers and songwriters emailing me. And she sent me a song. She said, I wrote you a song. It's not finished, but have a listen to it. She wrote me a song! For me! Oh! What's that say? Oh, I do. Have a listen to this. 0344 499 1000. David, I'll come to you in a bit. Listen to this. This is an important story that needs to be addressed. Saucy car registration plates have been banned as 67 plates come out next month. You wait until 69? Ah! The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency, or as I like to call them, the Squares in Suitsville, have vetoed hundreds of offensive combinations. David?
Hello.
Sorry?
Hello, Ian.
You still got that throat thing, have you?
Yeah, I've taken a turn for the worse.
Are you dying?
No, I think it's just flu.
Okay. I can give you some cream.
Where from?
You don't need to know.
Will it help?
It will help me. Might help you. It's got to be worth a punt, isn't it?
Are you being saucy again?
I'm going to read you these number plates that they've banned, right? And you've got to tell me what the word is, okay?
Righto.
BU67GER. These are all in the Sun. This is the Sun owns us, so we can read these out, right? BU67GER.
Okay.
DO67 SHT.
Dog shit.
These are in the paper. They're in the paper.
Am I right reading these out? These are a bit rude.
SH67GER.
Shagger. I never got so far. That last one, Shagger.
You've got 3.
Oh,
the next one I'm going to... The next one, you can say it, but I'm going to press the dump button after you say it, okay?
Right.
So, Periscope, get ready. Hang on a second. Paul, not tonight.
Okay, now I think straight away, the cream you'll give is...
Bugger, Paul.
So I'm going to give you can't... On Periscope, you're going to hear it. I'm going to press the dump button, which is here, okay?
Right.
W6... And these have all been banned, right? By the squares at the driver and the DVLA. They've banned these. W67 NKR.
Is that what that was?
The DVLA has vetoed hundreds of offensive combinations. They include...
How do you spell that?
Oh, there's more. It doesn't even work, right? What does this spell?
Right.
HU67 WLY. HU67 WLY.
Hewley.
They've banned Hewley.
Why? I don't know. That's ludicrous.
This last one doesn't even make sense.
Hewley? Is that maybe another term for a quip? I've not heard that before.
But this is the last one that they've also banned. I don't even get this one. Are you...
Am I what?
Are you 67 GAY?
Would that by chance be Are You Gay?
But it doesn't. It's got the number 67 in it. So it says, are you 67 gay? But that's not offensive.
It could be that could be the full sentence. Are you 67 and are you also homosexual?
Can you imagine a very wealthy, flamboyant 67-year-old homosexual man buying that number plate, but he only has it for a year?
And if you pull up alongside him, he winds down the window and goes, well, yes, I am actually.
DVLA officials meet twice a year to decide which number plates should be banned for being explicit or politically, racially, or religiously offensive. Or, in case of some of those, just too darn horny. Because you can't, if you've got the horn when you're driving, that is an accident waiting to happen. A spokesman said, there's nothing scientific about it. If some slip through the net and we get a complaint, we take that on board. Well, good for them. Good for them. Okay.
I saw that a personalised plate the other day.
Oh, yes.
I couldn't make it out. Maybe your listeners can help.
That's the voice. Yeah. Yeah.
It was 15.
15.
UK. D1K. And I couldn't work it out. Maybe your listeners can.
It doesn't even follow the way a number plate is written, you idiot.
It was personalised.
won awards! Oh, man, I don't know why anybody... Because those personalised number plates, they cost a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
I don't know what I'd have.
Stop it.
Suggestions on the back of a postcard.
Suggestions on the back of a car. David, it's always it always fills up a bit of the show to talk to you, which I suppose is a positive. What have you got for us this evening?
Well, I was just wondering. Tomorrow, I'm actually on a ghost hunt.
Yes.
And I might not be able to make my slot, and I'm wondering if I can maybe extend my slot.
Whoa, buddy. It says here, 5 minutes past 12, David Nonce Babcock, and you've got 5 minutes. You're on between, because at 10 past 12, it's Sally with a dilemma. So you can't bail out. Call us from the ghost hunt, man.
Well, I'm going to be with Peter, and he doesn't like me ringing people.
Who's Peter?
My best friend.
So I thought he was your spirit guide or something.
No, he's not.
Oh, is he the young man that's in your videos?
No, that's Clint Frostwell.
That's who?
Clint Frostwell is a TV producer.
Well, he's not, is he? Because he's just making low-budget home movies with a loser.
I watched that video on the TV.
Fair point. You got me there. I can't argue with that. Cannot argue with that.
Can I come on a bit later?
No.
I might have to drop out then.
This is the worst call you've ever made.
I didn't mean it to be good. It was meant. It could have happened off air, to be fair.
No, I'm sorry, mate. You're booked in for 5 past 12, and if you're not there, we will. One of the substitutes, Julie, is the only substitute we've got. Will have to come up to the plate and lick it clean.
Is that Julie Hartley Brewer?
No, it's not. It's not. But thanks.
I bet she likes licking plates. Anyway,
thanks for calling.
Good night.
Speak to you tomorrow. 0344 499 1000. Hang on a minute. Andre, this is like the 5th call.
Hello?
You've made about 5 calls.
Oh, man, it's a stable problem, mate.
Right, what do you want, man?
Well, my number plate on my car, yeah, it was a promotion from my company who give me the car. It's DB1. What does that mean? But what also? Can I have a slot? Can I have a slot for tomorrow, please?
No, we closed the door at 11 o'clock.
Well, but David Brewer, me, I'm quite famous, and I'd like to have a slot, please.
No, not at all.
Why not?
Because you're an old lush. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
I've just typed it up, and I'm just posting the schedule for tomorrow night's show on my Facebook page. So if you go to facebook.com/Iain Lee, I spell Ian correctly, by the way, IAIN, LEE. I'm just putting that there. There's a picture of me looking moody as well. And posting that, and tomorrow's schedule is up. It's up there so that everybody knows. You might look at it and go, I don't want to listen to Katia, so I'll switch off at 20 past 11. I'll use that as a time to go and have a dump or something. But I'll make sure I'm back at 11:40 for Kyle talking about the Department of Work and Pensions. You know, something like that. So you know where to go. It's like a festival, a radio festival, except this one's not going to be cancelled last minute by some dodgepot. But also, if you want to impersonate one of those callers, you'd be very, very welcome to be honest, because some of those people, pretty dull. Yep, that's up there. I typed that with my own fingers on a computer. There we go. Does anyone still use typewriters? I like the romance of a typewriter. I like the sound of a typewriter. I don't like the weight of a typewriter or using a typewriter. Where was it? Or maybe it was maybe I saw it on telly. I'm getting to the age now where sometimes I confuse things that I've seen on TV with things that have actually happened to me. And I thought I stayed in a hotel once where there were all typewriters everywhere, but I think it was an episode of Portlandia. Portlandia, there's a good show that warrants a second viewing. I must get round to watching that again. Love Portlandia. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. It's the late night alternative. We've got our eye on what's happening around the rest of the world, and there's been no developments that need to be spoken about. So we'll just carry on, and I'll just go through the papers. If you want to call in and join in the conversation, you're very welcome to. And if you don't want to, then you don't have to. Oh dear, I'm tired. Here's the thing. I am tired, but when I go home tonight, I am firing up my Xbox One, and I will be playing Left 4 Dead 2, the zombie game, the old Xbox 360 zombie game. If anyone wants to come and join me, my name is Michael Nesmith on there, and you'll see my avatar, and it's of a bald man with an earring, and I think I might be wearing braces, and I've got a moustache. A white moustache. It's not me. It's a computer picture, and that's the computer picture I made up because he looked like my therapist at the time. But 2:00, round about 2, maybe 2:30, I'm going to be playing Left 4 Dead 2, and I'm going to be going on a zombie hunt. You're very, very welcome to come and join me. I should warn you, I am a fan of team kills, and that quite often gets me booted out of games. Killing members of my own team. I'm sorry, but just like the way I like to do it. Here's an important news story. Here's the thing now. When I was a young man, when you were courting a young lady, or an old lady, when they took their clothes off, if you were lucky enough to get that far, you knew what you were going to get. You knew exactly what you were going to see there. You were going to see, pubic hair. That's what you're going to see. You were going to see it because that was there. Nowadays, not that I'm dating anymore, but so I hear. Nowadays, when a young lady undresses, you've got no idea what you're going to get. It's a Hobson's choice. It could be anything. Could be some, none, all. I don't know. And also, it turns out it's the same with men as well. If you're either a lady or a gay man, and you're dating young men. Again, you just don't know. You just don't know what you're going to get. Even young men are shaving him, and it's not good for you. And here's scientific evidence to prove exactly why. 1 in 4 people who shave or trim their privates, that means genitals. So we can say genitals. Have injured themselves doing so, a survey has found. Flipping heck, man. I know how bad it is if when I'm shaving, I've got a beard again now, but if I shave and if I get a little nick on my neck, or I cut a spot on my face, flipping heck. A, it stings, and B, it just bleeds. You've been bleeding for like an hour. If you got a spot, I get spots under there, under my lip. If you cut that when you're shaving, flipping heck, man. You can't go anywhere. So, imagine cutting your ballsack or your clitoris. Cuts. It says cuts. Cuts, burns and rashes are most common, with medical attention needed in some cases. Now, I've got... I have no qualms about exposing myself to members of the medical profession. I've had everything prodded, fingered, pulled back, looked at. If you're a doctor, even if you're not a doctor, but you're wearing a white coat and you've got a stethoscope around your neck, you could be a vet or an actor. I'm dropping everything and bending over and pulling. That's pulling apart. Quite a blue show this evening, isn't it? A little bit blue. Tomorrow night, well, who knows? Wet shaving is the most dangerous method, especially if done lying down. Why would you do... Why is it more dangerous Well, I suppose you need everything to sag down. I don't get it. I'm going to watch some videos later on that I probably will regret watching. Wet shaving is the most dangerous... 0344 499 1000. If you can shed any light on this, please let me know. Wet shaving is the most dangerous method, especially if done lying down, while getting a partner to help also increases the risk. You've got to think about it this way. Would you let your wife shave your face? No. Don't let her shave your balls. It's that simple, man. Waxing is safest. The study found 85% of women and 67% of men have shaved or trimmed their fuzz. Here's the thing, right? Women, okay, but men, why do you do it, right? Because there is nothing more unattractive than... The only thing more unattractive than a penis is the balls. It's just like an old man's face. I don't get why would you want to make that easier to see? Well, I just don't get it at all. I think everyone that does it is a sexual deviant, and they should be on the sex offenders register. And listen, I grew up with 70s and 80s pornography, so I like. You know what I mean? Got to be, Pablo!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Pablo.
Yes, big and bushy.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, on that note, not necessarily on the extremity shaving, but I do a lot of shaving other people for my work, and it's a lot easier than you think. I actually find it easier to shave other people these days than I do to shave myself.
Why? Hang on a minute. What do you do for a living?
I work with adults with learning disabilities. So
okay.
Some of my clients I help with shaving.
That's a lot of responsibility, man, to shave someone else's face.
Well, especially when I bring out the old cutthroat razor that I bring.
Whoa! Do you do it with the cutthroat?
No.
Oh.
Just whatever general fare they've decided to purchase.
Ever had a shave with a cutthroat by? Have you ever? Why can't I make a sentence? Have you ever paid for someone to shave you?
I've paid for somebody to shave me. I've done the whole kind of Turkish shave thing.
Yeah.
But I did get shaved in this country for charity with a cutthroat razor for an event in Newcastle.
Hang on a minute. How is getting a shave worthy of charity?
Well, it was an art project, so it was basically getting lots of people who had big beards.
Yes.
And it was all set months in advance, but it was all people with beards anyway who were picked, and we just grew our beards out as long as we could. Then we all had them shaved off, and it was all sewn into an intricate cushion.
I love a wet shave. I love a good wet shave. The place I go to now, they sort of do a decent one. When I go and have my beard trimmed, they'll sort of do the neck and the cheeks a bit. But there used to be, when I used to go to Joe's in Soho, and there was a young lady there that did the wet shave. Oh man, you've never had such a close shave in your life. You feel it's like having the skin of a 9-year-old on your face. It's incredible.
Well, the last time I had that, I get the authorities involved.
Well, there you go.
No, but it's slightly cheap these days. It slightly cheapens it that they bring out a little plastic disposable one, which I suppose is good for hygiene reasons, but you expect something with like a big bone handle or something.
Yep.
Personally.
Yeah.
Oh, and
yes.
Well, the main reason I was going through in regards to sexism, unexpected sexism.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was doing stuff around the house ourselves at the minute, but our next door we're getting their bathroom fitted,
yes.
And there seems to be this father and son plumber type decorators who they've got in,
yeah.
And I didn't find it a little bit later, but apparently my missus was out in the back. Well, there we go, everyday sexism, the missus. My fiancé was out the back, and apparently these fellas were wolf whistling and jeering.
Well, hang on, but they were working in next door's house?
Next door, so they were literally out the window.
Flipping heck.
And my lass was in our backyard, and they were giving it the old wit-woos and things like that.
Did you go and have a word? Because I'd have gone and had a word.
Well, I'm going to tomorrow. No, I didn't find out until after they'd gone for the day, so it was quite.
I once was walking down the street with my wife. I don't know if we were married then, right? But and we walked past some builders, right? And they were eyeing her up, and one of them nudged his mate and pointed at her arse. And I went, I'm sorry, buddy, I'm here. He went, what? I said, mate, I'm here, right? What you're doing is disrespectful, not only to her as a human being, but also I'm here, I can see you doing it. That's bang out of order.
No, it's weird. You get some people who've got like a certain. I've had it before where I've been out with my fiance and one of her friends like years ago, and we were sitting there just chatting away, and just this group of lads took a fancy to our friend, and were just being really kind of like inappropriate and just making side glances and coming too close to the table, and I was just like, oh, lads, this is. Bordering on. But these guys, I had a green jacket on, and I say that because I believe it's relevant, right? But this was only about 10 years ago, and so we're walking down the street, and they're stood in their thing, and they're sort of giving it the come on, that pose, like, come on, do you want to fight? I said, mate, I'm not going to fight you, but you're bang out of order. And so I'm walking down the street, and they're stood there, and we're sort of shouting insults back at each other. I went, why don't you get stuffed, you Neanderthals? And fair play, this bloke came back with the best insult that's ever been thrown at me, right? And to this day, I still think about it, because I'm not sure I totally get it, right? He went, why don't you piss off, Glenn Miller? Glenn Miller? Right, and he was a young lad in his 20s. He was calling me Glenn Miller, the band leader from the war that disappeared. Glenn Miller! Maybe that was an explanation for his sexual politics.
Well, it's a strange insult to throw at someone. Glenn Miller. Thank you for that, Pablo. 0344 499 1000. Another half hour of this nonsense to go. This is Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yeah. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. I'm suddenly really tired. It's partly because I'm hungry. I'm trying to lose weight, man. Losing weight is the hardest. It's the hardest thing ever, isn't it? It's just awful. So I'm flagging a bit. But we've got another. For example, tonight wouldn't be a night when we'd have a hashtag radio lock-in. That wouldn't happen. Tonight we'd finish at 1 and go, oh, we finished at 1. Fantastic. We made it. Looks like we made it once again. But you can call in 0344 499 1000. I'll tell you what we'll do. Last 30 minutes, call straight to air. So if you phone up, you'll come straight to air. You can withhold your numbers. You can pretend to be someone else. Do whatever you want. Right. I've just noticed that the last half hour of the show recently, that has kind of felt more appropriate to have it a little bit less structured. And that some of you, maybe it's because it's the summer holidays, maybe it's... That's my thumb I just clicked. Maybe it's because it's the summer holidays, maybe, because you're having trouble sleeping. I don't know why, but for the last half hour of the show, we want to call straight to air. We'll have calls straight to air. We won't call you back. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number, and you can withhold your number. By the way, there are some radio shows and radio stations that will not allow you on if you withhold your number, and I think we are probably one of the exceptions. So if you want to phone up and have a pop, you're more than welcome to. What story am I looking for in the paper? They're all a little bit. Oh, this is a good one. Hello, line 1.
Is that Ian?
Yep.
Oh, you're right, Chum.
Oh,
It's
all right.
Jim, who drinks too much.
Hello, Jim.
And plays Radiant Silvergun.
Oh, okay. Well, I was expecting a call from another regular boozer, Jonathan, a guy who called the other night and who called on Tuesday and was going to call Wednesday but didn't. But, yeah. How you doing, Jim?
Sorry. Well, I'm glad to fill in for him. Yeah, not so bad. I was sympathising with you about trying to lose weight. I've been trying to do the same thing myself.
It's awful. It's made harder, the fact I'm taking this metazapine that just makes me put on weight. So I'm kind of going against the chemical.
What's that for?
It's anti-anxiety.
Oh, sorry to hear you've got anxiety, Ian. You don't strike me as the kind of guy who would have.
That's because I'm on metazapine. That's why.
Yeah. Happy as Larry. Oh, I suppose it's related to temazepam, is it?
I guess so. I don't.
Similar sort of
I don't know. I know it knocks me out, but you know, it does. I'm on that and venlafaxine. So I'm having happy days.
Oh well, good. So how are you trying to lose weight? What are you doing?
Eat less and walk more.
Oh right. So there's no specific. See, what I've done is stop the carbs.
Okay.
So,
that's like bread and pasta.
Pasta. Yeah, bread, pasta, beer. Unfortunately.
Well, I don't drink, so I can't even knock that on the head.
Yeah. Well, maybe start drinking and then knock it on the head. You might feel better.
Oh yeah. I can't lose another 10 years of my life. If I had a drink now, I wouldn't wake up until I was 54. So I'm kind of all right, I think.
So it's gone quite well so far. But I got a phone call. NHS is comical in the way it behaves these days. I support it massively, but it's a shame what it's become. But I got a phone call when I was carrying bags of shopping to the car, and I've got two little girls, and we were all chaos getting in the car, and I just got a phone call just randomly and answered it, and she said, "Oh, by the way, it's the nurse. You've got diabetes."
Oh, flipping heck.
I'm like, oh, right. I'm just carrying shopping to the car. She went, yeah. And then carried on talking for about 5 minutes. And I said, look, it's 5:15. I'm going home. I'll give you an appointment to come and see me in a month. And then that was that. Oh. So I was like, oh, shit. I just dropped it.
Yep.
I swear. Sorry. Is that all right? Have you cut me off?
Oh, it's all right. It's fine. It's half past 12.
So I started researching how to lose weight, and then pretty much bread, pasta, rice.
But they're the tasty things. Imagine a pasta and rice sandwich. Oh man, that would be good right now.
Well, crisp sandwich is probably more like what I used to eat.
Crisps.
Yeah, crisps on a sandwich. Which kind of crisps would you choose if you're going to put them on a sandwich?
Oh mate, I'm a classic kind of guy. Cheese and onion.
Cheese and onion.
Yeah.
What, Walkers or Smiths?
I don't give a stuff. Cheese and onion.
Delicious.
Cheese.
Is that one not Golden Wonder?
Yes. Cheese and onion crisps. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Oh, they're good. I like beef crisps or like chicken crisps or something that's got like a yeasty kick in the pants.
Well, there you go. I'm not a massive fan of meaty flavoured crisps, but these things happen. Jim, best of luck. I hope you lose some weight. I'm going to move on because I've got another call. Let's go to line 2. Hello, line 2.
Oh, hi. I'm just talking about the old Glenn Miller thing, which is very funny, actually.
Yeah.
I was in a restaurant in London about 15 years ago, Langham's in Mayfair.
Oh, you were in a swanky restaurant, yes.
I was indeed. And it's quite close to Shepherd's Market. Do you know what Shepherd's Market? Do you know the connotation of what Shepherd's Market is?
I don't know what Shepherd's Market is, no.
All right, okay, it's a little, just off Mayfair. It's got a pub there, but it's always had a reputation of ladies on the night, that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah.
And so I'm sitting in Langham's with my mates. We used to do this every year.
Yeah.
And we got chatting to this woman in the pub, in the bar at Langham's, and it became quite apparent to me that she possibly could be a good time girl. So I got chatting away, and I thought I started taking the mickey out of her a little bit. She started taking the mickey out of me, and she turned around and said, "Do you know what? Why don't you pee off Des Lynam?" She called me Des Lynam.
Hey.
Now, not as bad as Glenn Miller, but it's along the same lines.
Do you have a moustache?
No.
Oh, because that's what he's famous for.
Yeah, but why would she, a lady of the night, of all the people she could have chosen in the whole wide world, why did she choose Des Lynam?
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it?
I know. I mean, the Glenn Miller one, don't get me wrong, it's a classic.
He was only a young lad. He was only about 26, 27. It just, and fair play, it shut me up because I was so blown away by it. I just didn't know I had nothing to say. And this was 10 years ago, and it's still, I will wake up in the middle of the night and think, why did he call me Glenn Miller?
I know. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. There we go. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
03444 08499 1000. Last bit of the show, guys. Call straight to air. Bosses on Channel 4's Child Genius. Now, I haven't seen this, but it's hosted by Richard Osman, who I've met because I was on Pointless and I was branded a racist by the mainstream media. And he's the biggest man in the world. I mean, he is like way taller than me, and I'm tall. Right? He's got massive hands as well, about twice the size of mine. Yes, line one.
Oh, won't you tiptoe through the tulips, through the tulips? Won't you come with me and tiptoe through the tulips with Ken for me and my girl?
There we go. Someone doing a Tiny Tim tribute. You don't get that very often. You wouldn't get that on the mainstream media, which I'm part of. Oh, here we go. There's another one. Line 2, you're on the wireless.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
You're good. First, thoughts and sympathies to everyone's victims, families of the attack in Barcelona today. Just horrendous. Also to the attacks of those in America. Again, horrendous. One attacked by white people, one attacked by so-called Muslim extremists. They're both extremists at the end of the day. Hello?
Yep.
So at the end of the day, all this hatred of blaming one another will not stop the problem at all. It will never stop the problem. It will just cause more fire to the cause. Media have got a lot to blame for it. Governments around the world have got a lot to blame for it. As simple as that. They're the ones who portray war, who incite war and incite hatred.
Right.
And they've got a lot to answer for.
Right. How remind me how the media are to blame for the attack in Spain today?
The media, right, so the Sun, let's go for the Sun straight away because they're the easiest ones to pick on.
Right.
They are...
So the Sun is responsible for the attack in Spain today. How?
I didn't say no. I did not say that. I didn't say they're directly.
No, you did. You said that the media is responsible. So just tell me how.
They're part responsible for these attacks because they spread hatred.
So how is the Sun? How is the Sun responsible for the attack in Spain? Yes, I'm asking you a question that I'm hoping you can answer, but I don't think you'll be able to. How is the Sun responsible for the attack? Can I finish the question? Can I finish the question?
You're asking a silly question.
No, you just said twice that
they are not. They are part of the problem. They are part of the problem.
Right. How is the Sun?
They did not.
Can I ask? Are you going to let me speak, or are you just going to be very, very rude and talk absolute cliched nonsense?
Carry on.
Right. You've said twice that the media is responsible, and then you've cited the Sun. So how is the Sun responsible for the attack that took place in Spain today?
You've taken my words out of context.
Then please clarify.
Right. Thank you. The media are part of the problem.
You said you used the word responsible.
Okay, they are responsible in respect of spreading hatred.
Right.
They spread hatred and lies.
You know you're talking utter guff. You know that, don't you?
What the press spread lies?
No. You've said that the press are responsible. But responsible for what?
Part.
No, you've said responsible. Responsible. Part. Okay, finish the sentence. The press are part responsible for
the hatred that is going on at the moment.
What's that? Mate, try and tie it into the thing you phoned in about. Tie it into the attack today, because you're just rambling, dude.
No, it's not. It's what I'm saying to you. The media, the governments are responsible
for
the attacks that are going on at the moment.
Right, you've just said the thing that hang on a minute. You've just said the thing that you've had a go at me for saying. You said I've been twisting your words. You've just said the media is responsible for the attacks that are going on. How is the media responsible for the attacks that are going on? The attack in Spain today. How is that responsible?
By spreading hatred.
Right. So the Sun. Tell me how the Sun. Tell me how the media, newspapers in general, is responsible for the attack in Spain.
By spreading their lies.
How is that? Right. I don't see the connection because obviously I'm dumb. So just join the dots for me then. How does that cause what happened today?
Because it spreads hatred.
But just join the dots. Treat me like an idiot, because I don't get it, right? Join the dots. How is the newspapers spreading hatred responsible for a murdering idiot getting into a van and running people over today? Just connect it for me, because I can't see it, and you obviously can.
Because at the end of the day, if you're going to be spreading lies and hatred against a certain part of society, and you're going to go to war with those people,
you're
and they're going to come back.
Dude.
They're going to come back. They're going to come back and attack.
So it's the tabloid. No, I don't, because you're rambling. It's
tabloid and the government.
Right, you're saying
tabloid and government.
You keep changing the goalpost, moving the goalpost, replacing the goal.
I'm saying both of them.
Replacing the goalpost with a netball net.
Not really. I'm saying, right, I'll start again. Let me start again.
Don't bother, because you don't know what you're talking about.
I do.
But you don't.
It's blatantly obvious. It's blatantly obvious that governments, their wars and everything else.
Yeah. So it's the government's fault that it's the government's fault that someone ran over some people in a van today.
It's part of a bigger problem, isn't it?
I don't know, mate. I'm really trying to listen to you.
The war against Muslims and against Islam.
What war against Muslims and Islam?
Well, you don't think we're not the governments and society?
Well, we had someone phoning up saying that the government was too friendly to Muslims earlier on, so I don't know who to believe.
How can they be? Right. How can they be too friendly?
I don't know, but the whole show is being bookended.
Seriously, what is too friendly to Muslims? When I was a small child, I was told
what a rude man.
Irish people
yes.
and black people were animals, and they wanted to kill the white British people. Yeah?
I don't know what you were told as a small child, so I can't agree to that.
Because, so in the 70s, I was born in the very early 70s.
Have you had a drink tonight?
No, not at all.
Have you had a puff?
No, not at all.
Because you are rambling, man.
Not at all.
Yeah, at all.
During the 70s and the 80s, the media...
Well, I wanted to end on a light-hearted note, but this guy's dragging us all down to his miserable level.
Not really.
Really? Trust me, really. I was doing a nice story about a kids' quiz show on Channel 4.
During the 70s and 80s...
Yes, sir.
During the 70s and the 80s...
Yep.
The media were having a go at the Irish. Yeah, when you walked into pubs, there were signs on the pubs, no Irish.
No, there weren't. Not in the 70s.
Yes, there was.
Not in the 70s.
Yes,
Not in the 70s, there
Yes, there was. Yes, there was.
What were you doing going into pubs in the 70s?
Because the pubs in the 70s were a community. They were like.
But you were born in the early 70s. So what? You were going into the pubs at the age of 5, and you saw signs saying no Irish.
There was just yes.
Liar.
I'm a liar, am I?
Yeah, you're a liar.
So I'm a liar at my own history.
Yeah.
And you're denying that there were signs and notices saying that no Irish, no jugglers. You're denying that fact, are you?
I am denying the fact that you saw those in pubs in the 1970s when you were 5 years old. Yes.
They weren't there in the 70s. They were there in the 70s. The amount of racial hatred.
What has this got to do with? What has this got to do with anything? What's going on in your life? What's going on? What's going? Listen to me, buddy, because I've let you have longer than you deserve. Thank you, man. What's going on in your life? Why are you so scared and lonely?
How am I scared and lonely?
Well, you're terrified.
What am I scared of?
You're of the government.
Terrified of nothing.
I'll tell you. You're terrified of the government, and you're terrified of the media, and you're convinced that there is some sort of conspiracy. There's not, buddy. There's not. Trust me.
Not at all, mate. Not at all. Not at all.
Why are you on your own tonight?
I'm not on my own tonight.
Well,
Can I speak to the person who's sitting next to me?
Well, who's with you?
Can I speak to them as well?
Who's with you?
That doesn't matter, does it?
Well,
doesn't matter who's.
I would like to speak to them. Yeah.
About what?
I'd just like to say hello to them.
Would you like to speak to? Would you like to say hello? No, I don't want to speak to them.
Oh, that's a surprise, isn't it? Almost as if, I don't know, you made them up as well.
I'm making them up. Just say hello. Just say something. Just say hello. Hello.
Right. Well, why don't you go and why have you decided to phone up a show that you've never listened to talk about all this? Why not sit there? You got a human being next to you. Turn to them, look at them, and say, "I'm scared, man. I'm scared because I think my government and I think the newspapers and I think the television they are creating divisions and it's scary and I'm scared, man. I could really do with a hug right now."
So I don't need a hug right now.
I think you need a hug, buddy.
No, listen, I don't.
You need a hug, man. You need someone to hold you. You need Daddy to hold you and tell you it's going to be all right. Now, Daddy's not there, but that fella next to you is.
My dad is dead at the moment.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, your daddy's not there. My dad's dead. I would love a hug from my dad just to say it's going to be all right, son. But he's dead. So get that fella next to you to give you a hug.
I don't need that. I don't need a hug.
You need a hug, man. Trust me.
My face has been put on the front page of the back of the News of the World, the front page of The Sun. I was on every single Channel 4 News, BBC News, just 2 months ago. Yeah? And they lied about me, left, right.
I'm sorry that happened.
So, like, at the end of the day, I was also arrested and charged for threats to kill Boris Johnson in 2009 after being a whistleblower.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you go now because I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, and I don't want to get involved. And it sounds like it's an absolute mess. Hello, line 2.
Sorry, I'll start again. Did you get my email last night?
Yes, I did. I haven't listened to it yet.
Give it a play.
I might well do. I might well do. Line 3, you're on the wireless.
Gear change.
Go, you got 30 seconds.
Okay.
Well, actually, we have on the bags, we have who's on first, what's on second. I don't know what's on third.
Beautiful.
That's what I want to find out. I say, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third. Are you the manager? Yes. You're going to be the coach, too?
The funniest comedy sketch ever written.
Who? The guy on first. Who? The first base. Who? The guy playing first. Who is on first? I'm asking you who's on first. That's the
Delicious. And on that bombshell, back tonight at 10, dear listener. Back tonight at 10. Ta-ta.